Hello again and welcome to the Hotspot. I'm here with some big breaking update concerning Raphael Varane and his future at Manchester United. The latest coming through from Chris Wheeler, a credible source who follows Manchester United for the Daily Mail. Of course, when you hear the Daily Mail and credibility, sometimes you might question it, but sometimes they do get it right. But of course, we also know what has been going on with Raphael Varane and Manchester United. After him being dropped for the Manchester Derby, dropped against Luton. They dropped him for the derby to favor Victor Lindelof. They dropped him for Luton again to favor Johnny Evans. He felt disrespected as a World Cup winner, guy who won the World Cup, multiple Champions League titles. He's saying, how on earth is this Dutchman, Dutch gaffer, disrespecting me like this? So it was always known that even if he's a silent player, certainly there is no way he was going to be happy. Now, this is what we are getting now. Big breaking update coming through is that Raphael Varane is done. His relationship with Erik Ten Hag is beyond repair. It's irreversible, and a decision is about to be made on his future. Now, we've been talking about it, whether Varane should go or he should stay. We've been divided as Man United supporters. Some say, let him stay. We need Varane. We are desperate. He's our best centre back. Others say, what do you mean the best when a half of the times of the entire season he is on the bench, or even not on the bench, he is not in the team because of injury. He is in the doctor's room. So what exactly should we expect to happen? Now, here is me telling you my opinion about this. Subscribe to the Hotspot and drop your opinion about Erik Ten Hag and his handling of some of these players and the situations that do keep emerging with the players. Well, what is clear is that, like I've been saying it, Erik Ten Hag is not the best man manager. I think I'll judge him on that because of what we've seen. But also, it is probably true that not so many players are willing to die for him. They are not playing for him. You see it. And players and player power that has been trending lately are real in football. But let's focus on Raphael Varane. Now, reports came out a couple of weeks ago suggesting that Raphael Varane was linked to a move to Saudi Arabia. They started actually in the summer, but he was quick to come out and say, I'm not going to Saudi. There is money, but I'm still a top A-list player and I will be playing in Europe. And United is where I want to stand fight. But as it happens now, it seems Erik Ten Hag is increasingly frustrated. Ten Hag has been consistently talking about how the reason he cannot develop and implement his patterns like he would want is because players are not consistently fit. One is injured today, the other one returns, this one gets injured again, in and out, in and out. You can't build anything like that clearly, and I agree with him. But that doesn't mean that when certain players, high level players, are fit, at least not into some to some people, they shouldn't be playing when they are fit. I think there is a certain belief that certain players, when they are fit, they have got a birthright to be starting games. And Eric Ten Hag doesn't seem to subscribe to that, which I like because if you're not impressing in training, then you shouldn't be playing. But the situation has now become so bad that these two, in fact, it is said that Varane confronted Erik Ten Hag and told him off after Ten Hag came out in the press and tried to explain in a lot of tactical language the tactic behind him dropping Raphael Varane for the Manchester Derby when he was fit. And it did make sense, to be honest, to me. But I'm not a tactician. I'm just a football fan. I mean, who can give my opinions as a fan of the game. I played the game at the lowest, most minute level you can think about. So I have no moral authority to question the tactics of Erik Ten Hag, a manager of Manchester United. But I've got an opinion, and I did not understand completely his explanation and his tactics. A player who can come play in can did make sense for me anyway. But this is the aftermath of that decision, and he has got to deal with it. But here's my honest opinion. I've been saying it here. I love Raphael Varane. I think he's one of our best players. Remember, when Harry Maguire was stripped of captaincy, I said, and that video is there, I said, I actually think Raphael Varane should be our next captain. But at afterthought, I actually think Raphael Varane should be among the first players to leave Man United as early as possible, as early as this Jan. This is why. Raphael Varane has flattered to deceive several times, not for his football, but for his lack of fitness. He's a good footballer, he's a brilliant footballer, but he's 30 and he's injury prone. Now, we signed him sick for about 41 million euros from Real Madrid. That was a rip-off because they knew what they were selling to us. He was sick. Varane has been on the sick bed more than he's been on the pitch, probably for United. When he's on the pitch, we love to see him there, but he's not there. So for Erik Ten Hag to be disorganized by such a player consistently, he comes and he's a big player, he's under pressure to play him, but then after 2 games he's sick. It doesn't make sense. There will be no progress. So for me, and I don't side with people who feel like United can't afford to lose a single player in Jan. I think we can afford to lose players who are not giving us enough time on the pitch. Raphael Varane is the top of that list because look, what does we are paying Raphael Varane £340,000 per week. Now, us selling him or letting go of him, and we can get some decent money from him from Saudi. Us selling him in Jan would save us close to £10 million by the time we get to the summer, because people are saying we need to finish the season and go on up to, let's say, sell him in August, the August transfer window. That would be about how many months? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Those are 8 months. Now imagine Varane earning £340,000 per week. That is about £1.3 million per week, per month. That's his salary. For 8 months, that's almost £10 million. Now that's the amount of money Varane will get. But between Jan and August, if I think what we've seen is anything to go by, Varane will play about most tops 5 games. So we pay him £10 million for playing 5 games because he's Rafael Varane, he's a World Cup winner, he's a multiple Champions League winner. It doesn't make sense for me, business wise and what have you. Remember, we already have a Jadon Sancho who probably will not be allowed to leave and go to Saudi. He's banished, he's earning £350,000 per week. What kind of business are we running? How would we even operate this business? The players, how do they do it? Because the club is profitable, yet they are wasting money on players. So for me, I think I don't have any issues with Varane leaving in Jan. He should go, not in bad faith, but because realistically, he's not giving us time on the pitch. We need to move on and focus on getting in players who are going to be progressing us, taking us forward. Varane did his part when he came in, but he's never going to stop getting injuries. He will come back here, play 1, 2, 3, 4 games, or not even four. Play 1, 2 games, he'll fall sick again. He's injured again. Goes back on the sick bed again. We go back to square one. Where is Lindelof? Where is Maguire? Where is whoever? Then comes back, gets injured again. So for me, and he's not like a Luke Shaw who will come and play a certain significant number of games before he gets injured again. He will give you some good minutes before he gets injured again. Varane will play 1 or 2 games and he will not finish the second. He's injured again for weeks. Comes back, same thing. Do we want to cling on to that player? When are we going to start making decisions as Man United for the good of the club, not becoming sentimental with players? And this is the problem I've seen with many of us supporters of United. We get sentimental, and I think we've passed this energy on to the club. Now, I'm here to tell you, with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, this is the richest man in the UK. He doesn't run business like that. This is business. There should be value for money. Honestly, I've not seen value for money from Varane for the longest time. And for me, he can leave. Whether he goes to Saudi, whether he goes to Arsenal, I don't care where he goes. Varane, with all due respect and love, with one love from the bottom of my heart, I love you, fam, but leave Manchester United. Let us bring in younger players who are hungrier, younger players who are fitter, younger players who will certainly not intimidate the manager. Probably low key, Erik Ten Hag is bullied by characters like Varane. Yeah. So that's what I think, my honest opinion. So I won't sit here and say I'm sad. And I actually wouldn't care if he's, and I don't expect him to start, by the way. And I'll give you my squad for that game against Everton tomorrow, Saturday. I don't expect him to be in the starting team. I would be surprised if he did, because already what's going on shows you that he's not in the mental space. Remember a game when I think he came on as a sub. It was should have been a Champions League game recently, and his body language was off. The way he was looking, he probably did not want. He probably felt disrespected, and you're thinking, how is he going to play for football? How is he going to play for this manager? They are fallen, fallen apart. Erik Ten Hag and Varane probably don't see eye to eye. But anyhow, what do you think? Should Varane go? Should Varane stay? I think we can get about 30, 30 million from Saudi, of course, from Saudi for Varane. So he's a 30, £40 million player. That's money for United. So let's sell him.